Wrong about your son, my lady. He stood up to him like a true lord.
You were brave, my son. But you'll need to be braver still when Ramsay Snow arrives to see you bend the knee. Prepare a raven. We need to send word to Mira in King's Landing at once. Your sister can help us.
So she can get out of King's Landing.
Maiden, she has Marjorie Tyrell's favour. And Lady Marjorie's betrothal to the king may be enough to keep the Boltons at bay, if it's presented to her as it should be.
Ethan made this for me.
Oh, it's her box. I thought it was Marjorie's box.
Asher sent me this coin to remember him. What a strange place, Essos. It was very kind of Lady Marjorie to give this to me. It once belonged to Lady Olenna. Father, much excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding. Lady Marjorie has proven to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come, although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all of you, and I look forward to the day you can.
Well, that's one way of calling it.
Wonders Made by Man, by Lomas Longstrider. A gift from Roderick.
She seems so pleased about that.
I hope to see them all someday.
Oh, I take it then the Raven hasn't found you yet then.
King's Landing. I wonder if it's sunny at Ironrath today.
It troubles me to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Marjorie to intervene on our behalf. She is our best hope, and can be a powerful ally, especially now when your family so desperately needs her help.
One moment.
Oh, sorry, milady. I didn't mean to disturb you. I can come back later if you'd like.
No, it's fine. Come in.
What the hell is he doing?
Begging your pardon, milady, but you alright? If you don't mind my asking, you seem rather upset.
I'm just worried about my family.
Ah, letter from home, is it?
It's kind of you to ask.
Of course, milady. You've always been kind to me.
Please hurry if you can. Lady Marjorie will be here any minute.
Of course, milady. You work for Lady Marjorie? I may be wrong, but it seems like you do.
I'm her handmaiden.
That's what I thought. I've seen you with her before. You seem like good friends. I saw Lady Marjorie just this morning, outside the Royal Sept, talking to Queen Cersei.
Cersei?
They appeared to be having some sort of disagreement. I couldn't hear much, but...
What did they say?
I couldn't make out much, but I know they were talking about the Starks and House Forrester.
House Forrester?
I hope you're not in any kind of trouble. but I thought you ought to know. Most people don't tend to notice a callboy. Not in King's Landing, with so many lords and ladies about. You see and hear all sorts of things when people don't even know you're there.
They
Good night,
make
ladies.
great spy then, because nobody would ever think of them then. It's be like, oh, it's the cowboy again. We just keep talking about important stuff that you shouldn't be hearing. And then they all wonder when it gets out.
Lady Marjorie, you're early.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk. Come, there's something we must discuss. From the day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more as a friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining.
You're very kind, my lady.
Of course, Mira, but you must not despair. We will get through this together. You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north whose family fought for Robb Stark. It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the royal sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor. She was very pleased with herself.
I'm not a traitor.
Of course not. It's only an excuse to torment you, and by extension, me. She demands an audience. She wants an apology of some sort, for what I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with Cersei with the wedding so near.
What do I say?
Find a way to appease her. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear.
So
See
basically,
if the Queen
talk
Regent is
nice
ready
about
to receive
Jaime,
us.
say how great her sons are, kiss ass to Joffrey. Yeah. Basically just lie on the floor and crawl to Cersei, she'll love it.
You'll be fine. I know you will. You may feel one thing, but you must say another. Good luck.
I quite like how you can pick out the characters from the TV show.
You can do this.
Ah, Lady Marjorie. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Lord Tyrion. Your Grace? With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
I am honored, Your Grace.
Yet not honored enough to kneel, I see.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is.
House Forrester's loyalty to the crown never wavers, Your Grace.
I see. And yet, for centuries the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
They were the wardens of the north. We all served at the pleasure of the king.
Clever girl.
Perhaps too clever for her own good.
The girl did say their loyalty was
dear.
unwavering.
She has a talent for equivocation, yet I question what she really thinks. Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
Roose Bolton also served the Starks, Your Grace.
And proved his loyalty to the crown by bringing their house to a swift and sudden end. Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war
she
is
really
over,
is
we
one
must
tough
look
cookie.
to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Forster Ironwood does seem rather unique.
To our mutual benefit, Your Grace.
And at the pleasure of your king. It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
There are limits, Your Grace.
Perhaps, but not if your house faces potential ruin.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the war? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
She was just following her heart, Your Grace.
And the very same heart so quickly led her to my son.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she
Let the
would...
girl answer the question.
My loyalties would never conflict, Your Grace.
That's a coward's answer. I will not have my time wasted by a northern girl who thinks she can play games. Who do you choose?
Oh, finger snaps.
The king, of course.
Well said. I was beginning to worry you didn't have your priorities straight.
She is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
I'm not quite sure what to make of her. Not surprising, I suppose, for a northern girl, but not very encouraging either. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
Oh, I don't think Marjorie's very happy with me.
I'll walk you out.
Please,
This may
I think
come
I've
as a
just
surprise,
ballsed
but
up
I met
like,
your father
completely.
once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss.
Thank you, Lord Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say.
That certainly took courage. To so publicly declare your loyalty to Joffrey for all to hear. Poor Lady Marjorie was humiliated, although Cersei seemed quite pleased. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining.
I did it for Lady Marjorie.
Rather odd, if that's what she asked of you. But I'm sure she has your best interests at heart. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the crown in this regard. Not her.
You can help my family.
I suppose the Crown could be persuaded to secure Ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that? It may be far too dangerous.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion. Please.
You are a brave girl, aren't you? I'll consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight.
Why do I have a
3
feeling
beautiful
I have
bottles
just
of
made
Dornish
my
wine
biggest
await
mistake?
my arrival.
Thank you for the advice, Lord Tyrion.
Just be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
So I'm probably going to get told off by Marjorie. Tyrion seems to be on my side. Cersei's probably going to hang my head. And my family's probably going to, well, what's left of it, is probably going to kill me. Well, this has turned out to be a great first episode.
Mira, I was worried. How was it? Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing.
It didn't go very well.
I'm sorry. Cersei is known for being rather difficult. But at least it's over now. Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back, here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Ah, Sir Jaime, I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Sarah?
What? It's true. And Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. I'm told he has a paramour.
He is quite handsome.
And quite passionate, from what I've heard.
Uh-oh. Don't think this
Perhaps
is a
Lady
PG-13
Marjorie could
game.
make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands. Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like. Would you marry Joffrey if it meant you'd become queen? He does have a certain look about him, and he's always treated Lady Marjorie well.
I don't want to be queen, no matter who I'd have to marry.
Don't want to be queen? You northerners. You'd make a perfect scepter. Well, I would marry him. Imagine the power you would have as Queen of the 7 Kingdoms. I might even allow you to be my handmaiden. Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister. What a perfect match. Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing?
Well,
I'm sorry, my lady.
As am I. We shouldn't have been messing about.
This is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful.
Oh.
The Queen was pleased by your display, Mira.
What?
I'm just glad it's over.
King's Landing can be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you.
Do you agree?
Once you are queen, the lords and ladies will do their best to please you.
You learn very quickly. Your words to Cersei were brave, but I know you must fear what the Boltons might do to your family. I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important. I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah. There are no secrets between us.
Oh, this could be
It's
highly
about
dangerous.
my family.
I trust her.
Go on. Ask.
Forgive me, my lady. I wouldn't otherwise ask this of you, but my mother insisted. It's about my family.
Ramsay Snow. What would you have me do?
My mother fears our family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. She thought, if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown. I know it's a lot to ask of you, and I wouldn't otherwise, but she insisted.
That is no small request, especially now.
I know, my lady, and I wouldn't ask this of you otherwise, but my mother has left me no choice. She insisted.
Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks, and now you would have me ask him to intervene. Is the situation that dire?
You can't, my lady. King Joffrey won't like it.
Just think how he turned on Lady Sansa.
It is that dire, my lady. I fear for my family's safety.
I don't know, Mira. If Cersei were to find out...
Don't let the Queen bully you. You have power over him, Lady Marjorie, as no one else does. Not even his mother. Ramsay Snow will arrive at Ironrath within the week. I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Thank you, my lady.
I didn't think Marjorie
I
would be
will send
so
a raven
easily
to my family
swayed.
at once.
I thought she would always have like an agenda or something. That she's playing a game. Uh-oh. I always thought she would just said no straight outright.
Seven hells.
What the fudge is going on?
Let's play a little game, shall we?
Oh.
Did you know my ancestors wore
Oh.
the skins of their
No.
enemies as a coat? Not my best work, unfortunately. I suppose I have full enough practice. But he didn't make it easy, what with all that bloody noise.
Like a drowning cat. I thought he'd never stop.
As my father likes to say, a naked man holds few secrets. But the flayed man holds none.
Pity he didn't know your father is the Warden of the North.
He does now. How much further is it to these foresters?
A day, my lord. 2 at most.
Uh-oh.
What was that?
My lord?
Shh. Listen. There. Hear that? I know I heard something. Never mind. We've wasted enough time already.
Phew. Am I so glad I didn't run? For a split second there, I thought for a minute he had no legs.
Bloody hell.
Oh, that's not good.
Lord Ethan, as I was saying, you are young. And there are those within these walls who are uncertain of your leadership. But 300 generations of Forester Lords stand behind you. Lord Gerhard the Tall, who founded our house, and your grandfather, Lord Thorin the Bold, who seized back the river valley from the White Hills.
What did they call my father?
Lord Gregor the Good. He was fair and wise.
And what will they call me?
That is for you to define as the new lord. These were your father's people to lead and protect, and now they're yours. But your father did not bear this responsibility alone. He and every Forester Lord before him chose one man whom they trusted above all others, the Lord Sentinel. Forester traditions demand that a new Lord Sentinel must be chosen.
Keep walking, you craven son of a whore. Move! Summon the Lord! We need his judgment.
I've done nothing wrong! I was only trying to survive!
Lord Ethan. Maester.
Who is this man?
This craven is a deserter and a thief.
This house is doomed! We all fucking know it!
Quiet, thief. Eric was supposed to be guarding our weapons, but instead we caught him stealing them.
Uh-oh.
2 shields and 3 spears.
Why did you do it? Because I've no wish to die. Yes, my lord, I fled. We should all flee. It's not stealing if you're taking what's yours by right.
He speaks true.
Right. I've a family to feed, and not 2 coins to rub together since Lord Gregor left us to rot here. Where's our pay? Our share of bread and wine grows smaller every day.
Leave the poor man alone!
Mercy. Go.
Lord Ethan, I know these words are hard, but they're honest. This house is falling. We'll never survive the coming winter. Calm yourself. The time for calm passed with the late Lord Forester. Now there's only chaos.
You'll address him as Lord. Lord Ethan, you must decide the punishment. Lord Gregor always took a thief's fingers. 3 of them.
Now may not be the time for harsh punishment. The men are on edge as it
The
is.
men need to know they cannot do whatever the fuck they please. Their lord will not permit it.
You can send him to the wall.
Show him mercy, my lord. He stole from us. Make him pay for what he's done. Give us justice.
Fuck him!
I will decide.
Send him to the wall.
No, you mean I'll decide.
He's a thief.
If you punish me, you'll be punishing an innocent man. It will be an injustice, my lord. Please, my lord. My family depends on me. I sentence you to the wall, where you will join the Night's Watch. No, please, my lord! My family, without me, they'll die!
Oh. Maybe that wasn't such a good
That
thing.
was certainly unpleasant, but a lord must mete out punishment when it's due. Not just yourself, of course.
Maester, what do you think?
Me?
Yes, did I do what's right?
The wall seems like a fitting place for a thief. I only hope he doesn't find Garrett there and take his anger out on the poor squire. You heard
Oh, I
what
never
the
thought
thief
of
said.
that.
I expect this sort of thing will happen again. But a sentinel can help you in the face of disloyalty. You need someone you can trust by your side. Someone you can rely on, no matter the circumstance. Possessing wisdom.
Who do you think I should choose?
There are 2 capable men for the role. They both want the job, but neither thinks very highly of the other.
How do I decide between them?
Talk to them. Solicit the opinion of people close to you. Here, the bracer of the Sentinel. The badge of office. Tonight is your first small council meeting. It would be wise to bestow this bracer upon your chosen Sentinel then, to show that you are decisive and in control of this house. Your Sentinel will wear this for all to see.
I understand. I'll do it now.
Come speak with me when you're ready to convene the small council, my lord.
What if I asked everybody and I end up with a 50-50 chance of one of these, probably 2 people? Oh, for a split second I thought, why am I talking to myself?
Maester?
Yes, Lord Ethan. Are you prepared to name your Sentinel?
What is it you're doing over here?
Admiring the ironwood, my lord. I studied it at the Citadel. The wood may be black, but I see gold. An entire forest of gold.
What do you mean?
It is our greatest asset, my lord. Why not give some of our ironwood to House Bolton and have them leave us be? We could ransom ourselves. You can hardly put a price on your own life.
How much do we have to give, Maester?
From here to Wolfswood Creek and then across the next 2 ridges, it should be enough to satisfy Ramsay Snow, I imagine. Bloodlust can often be sated by gifts and gold.
Our provisions are rather low, my lord. I made the count again, just to be sure.
How bad is it? How long could we hold the house?
We couldn't withstand a siege, my lord. If the Boltons or the White Hills cut us off and wait us out, we'd only last a fortnight. But there are steps we can take. In the past, we've demanded food from the small folk to replenish our stores. We can do it again, if you'd like. We've done it before in desperate times. The last long winter, my family had to give all our pigs to the house.
I trust you to make the right decision.
We'll have to take food from the small folk and hope they can fend for themselves. If the house falls, they'd all be worse for
Hello,
it.
Nelson.
I'll see to the arrangements.
Jeez,
My
you're
lord.
really on late tonight. No, my best, you're can't speak anymore because I'm so tired. No, you're off playing. I was going to say the order, but I think you've already completed that.
Duncan,
Yes, my lord.
I have much to consider and face a difficult decision.
Perhaps I can help. Your father often sought my counsel.
As Lord, I must name a sentinel.
Of course. And if I may ask, who do you favor for the role? Perhaps I can share my insight. And talking can sometimes help you make a decision.
Actually, I wanted to ask, why did you send Garrett away?
I did it for your own protection, my lord. Garrett had to go. By sending him away myself, I thought it would keep you blameless in the eyes of the White Hills. I only hope to give you an advantage, and I regret any action you disapprove of.
I understand. And you're forgiven.
Thank you, my lord.
Thank you, Duncan. I appreciate
You know,
your
you know what I
advice.
must actually do? I
I'm
must
at your
actually
service,
download
my
that
lord.
game because I forgot. I actually had it for the PC. I got it the time I did like an online, like BlizzCon, but online with World of Warcraft, and I completely forgot. I think I got that game for half price, or I may have got the game with it. Alright. No, I can't save.
Ethan. Or
So
should I
must
say
actually
Lord
get it
Ethan.
downloaded,
Hello,
up and
Uncle
running,
Martin.
at least so I can see what it's
I
actually
saw what
like.
you did today. It's not an easy thing to do, showing mercy to a man who admits his guilt. But if you'll excuse me, my lord, I should finish packing before nightfall. I hope to be off tomorrow.
Uncle, why are you packing? You're not going somewhere, are you?
Your mother asked me to cross the narrow sea to find your brother, Asher.
Asher?
She has asked me to return with him, to help the house.
She said nothing of this to me.
Because she fears you will not agree. I told her my place is here, that I'll be of no help to you in Essos. But she insisted. I will hold, of course, until you've spoken with her about this. Just try to be kind to her. She's been living a nightmare made real. But you know that just as well.
She's my mother. Of course I'll be gentle.
I know you will. You're good-hearted, my lord.
I said I might see if it gets put on to offer through the PlayStation
my
Network
mother's fear,
because
not
I'm
the
kicking
only ones
myself.
I face.
I had got, as you
People
know,
are scared as well.
The Last of Us
I told I
remastered,
must choose a sentinel.
and I noticed this week it's
If
the
I
deal
may
of the
be
week.
so bold,
I was kicking
Sir
myself.
Roland
I
is
ended
the
up buying
man
it for
to
near
judge.
£40, and it's now
He'd be a fine
like
choice.
£20.
And I trust him.
You're right. Sir Royland seems the man for the job.
We are at war. You need a warrior by your side. Royland has the respect of his men and will bring strength and discipline to this house. Duncan would offer sage advice, but now is not the time to negotiate.
Thank you, Uncle.
Ethan, I need to talk to you. Mother told me Mira has asked for Lady Marjorie's help.
Did she?
I knew we could rely on Mira. She always thinks of family above all else. Hopefully Lady Marjorie's influence will be enough. But right now I'm more concerned about you. I saw what you did to that man. You promised me you wouldn't change, and I believed you.
I can't afford any more mistakes. Everyone knows what happened with Lord Whitehill. Garrett being sent to the wall without my knowledge.
I know. And that wasn't your fault.
Well, I'm the Lord. It's my responsibility. The people want me to lead. They need me to, but...
What? Ethan, please.
Who should I name as my sentinel?
It should definitely be Duncan Tuttle. He's dependable and smart, and everyone trusts his judgment. Sir Royland is unpredictable and likely to make matters worse.
You've always given me good advice. Thank you.
No, I had planned to do maybe The Last of Us after I had finished Tomb Raider, but there was a viewer on Kitty, and she kind of wanted the Game of Thrones, but I feel kind of really bad because she ended up having to leave. I was gonna say probably near, yeah, she probably did leave very near the start, so she hasn't really got to see very much of it.
Sword up! Swing left! Sorry! Wrong! I didn't know
Sir
dogs
Royland,
could hold swords.
A word?
Of course, my lord.
I have many decisions to make, and I wanted your advice. What's the state of our defences? Are these men ready for what's coming?
This lot, ready? No, but they will. We post anyone who can hold a spear along
Is
the
it hard
parapet,
to get new games?
up where they won't get much scrutiny, and put our
Yes,
meanest,
no.
nastiest looking
To get new
brutes
games
front
where I
and
live,
centre.
there is a few stores that you can get it, but because
You've
they're
got to
not
project
like a
power,
big, like
especially in the
HMV
weak.
or game and stuff
Thank
like
you,
that
Sir
there,
Royland.
they only
I'll
get
let you
so
get
many
back to
copies
training
in.
these men.
Thank you, my lord.
The problem
And,
is
I'll
sometimes,
be sure
like
to
we
watch
have an
out for
extra
more
vision near us,
deserters. After today,
and we do have a
I suspect
HMV, like
there'll be more to
HMV and
come.
extra vision combined. But the problem is with that they only really seem to get the high power games. They maybe only get so much amount, and if everybody's pre-ordering it, they might only have about 1 or 2 left, and unless you go first thing in the morning, it goes completely. I got my order out of a store because I thought it'd be easy enough. It was just there was a mix-up. There was actually, because when I went to pick up my order, they had a hard time trying to find my SodaStream stuff, because when I noticed they had actually brought out a few orders, and a couple of the orders I noticed were all my surnames. So the problem was they didn't really have our first names on the order, and I have a feeling somebody with my surname has actually got my parcel that they weren't supposed to get. So they've actually got my game because they couldn't find it, which I will give them credit. They did give me a full refund, and I did get a game in replace. Another store, the other store I think was kind of the same. They still were allowing a few like online orders, you know, stuff you can order online. So they actually had none left. And the other store, I think they got it, but they were the same. They only had a few copies because they said they don't really sell that many games, so they kind of, you know, don't bother getting a load in. But I was supposed to be going to one of the big cities on Saturday. I don't know if I'm still going or not, because I had planned to go with my friend. She's now working, so I might just be safer finishing the games that I've got. Do the Last of Us and do First Light and stuff like that. Oh, and I got Abe's The Oddworld, the nice and tasty one. I'm really excited for. I wouldn't say they get the big sellers. They do get nearly all the games. But the problem is, if they're the bigger sellers, they get so many of them. But because a lot of people know that they don't get so many in, it is kind of like a mad rush. It's like, you really do need to have them pre-ordered.
Careful. Keep at it and you won't have much left. Something to pick your teeth with.
No, Ethan.
I'm not
Look at this. All good swords have a name. I call mine Two Brothers.
Well, we do have HMV and Extravision put together. But there was one store that I had bought.
But
you honour Roderick with this.
Uncharted 3 out of.
He was the strong one.
A game messed up badly on me. I actually had to get it replaced. I got a Batman game from them as well too. And I ended up having to get that replaced. But now this place has joined forces for something. I don't actually know if they're good or whether I'm just going to have still problems with discs.
I watched you today.
I don't know whether maybe it was just a batch copy was the problem. But yeah.
Is he our enemy? A bad man? Everyone keeps talking about them. Enemies.
Rules mean nothing if we don't enforce them. It doesn't matter if he's good or bad. You can't steal. That's a rule.
Well, I say he was bad. Bad men killed Father and Roderick. They need someone to hurt them back. Even worse. I want a real sword. No one's afraid of wood. I'll find the men who took Roderick someday, and I'll make sure I have a real sword when I do.
Well, Nelson, since you're kind of new to the game, who do you think I should give? We do have one, but it's in the big main city, or town, whatever you want to call it. But that's about 50 miles away from where I am. That's kind of a long journey. But that's not even the problem. It's just when you try to get there, if you're driving, you can get stuck in really badly traffic, and you can't actually get near the store. It's kind of a one-way. So you need to be parking at one end of the town, having to walk maybe about a mile, 2 miles. It is quite a big town, and to get parked in it is quite bad because I don't know the roads very well. So I end up having to park on one side to get to the other.
Are you holding a sword or a turkey leg?
Duncan, I've decided to name you as my sentinel. Congratulations.
Why, thank you, my lord. I'm honoured. But are you sure?
Yes, of course. I'm convinced you're the man for the job.
Then I accept.
I'm not
But
really.
first, you must summon the small council, my lord, to make it official.
I think this is kind of going to
I'll
have
tell
to be a
Maester
game where I'm going to have
Ortyngan
to
to
do
do
it
it at
twice
once.
over, just so I can see what happens when I pick another side. It's not kind of black and white as Walking Dead. This one's very kind of... You kind of have to be a lot careful, I think, what you're doing here. I think something can go very badly wrong if you pick a wrong option. I wouldn't say it's too much well, I suppose, yeah, you could say, yeah, it's probably too much hassle. But I think the main fact is that unless you go between certain times, you're getting stuck in really, really badly traffic. And I did that journey Monday to Friday. I would have had to leave. Time I was working in the town, in the city, I had to literally, you would have had to leave the house for 6:30 in the morning to be in for 7:30, just so that you didn't get stuck in any traffic. Coming home was a nightmare too. Coming home,
My
like,
lord, are you now ready to name your
kind of had to
sentinel?
be leaving the place for about 4:30.
Yes, Maester. I'm ready.
Very well. I will convene the small council at once.
It is, I think it's one of those games that you kind of really do need to focus. Which is why for a while there I wasn't really speaking. Because it does seem to be that your actions do cause a lot more things to happen in this one.
You may sit.
I believe Lord Ethan has reached his decision.
Before I name my sentinel, I must tell you. Duncan, Royland, this house needs you both.
But you can only choose one, my lord.
Let him be on with it.
Many thought either of you would make a fine sentinel, but I have made my decision.
Oh, help me.
Duncan Tuttle, you will be my sentinel.
Tuttle! This is reckless. Lord Ethan has made his choice. I will not disappoint you, my lord.
Now, sentinel, what do you have to report of Ramsay Snow?
Our scouts say he's only a day's ride from here. With no time to waste.
Who knows what he's capable of? We need to prepare for the worst.
There's no need to panic. We can devise a plan to deal with him.
Very much
The
so.
Boltons need our
It
people
seems
to
to me
harvest
that if
the
you
iron.
misjudge something
Even
and
the
you say like a
bastard
wrong
Ramsay
thing,
must understand
it
that.
could
He's
be
not coming here to
you could get like a
negotiate.
nasty
We
response.
must answer with the sword.
That's bloody suicide. You gamble with the lives of everyone within these walls. Ignore Sir Royland. You named me Sentinel. I knew this would happen. He cannot be trusted.
This is the bloody small council.
Enough! Would my father have stood for this kind of bickering? Neither will I.
Sir Royland is clearly able and ready to take up arms, but the rest of our soldiers are not. We need to take a cunning approach. Diplomacy can be a sharper instrument than a sword.
The Bolton sigil is a flayed man. Force is the only thing they understand.
Gentlemen, please. Thank the gods Mira has asked Lady Marjorie for her help. It's not too late for the Crown to intervene on our behalf, but we must have a plan if Mira's efforts are not successful. I trust Mira's judgment. I don't doubt she did everything within her power to help us.
Mother, what do you recommend we do?
We must give him whatever he wants and be done with it. It's too dangerous to do otherwise.
Why not make an offering for peace, my lord?
Yeah, the wisdom of the Citadel.
We can give the Boltons ironwood in exchange for their protection.
You must be mad. It's pure folly to just give away the only currency we have to bargain with.
Enough! My new sentinel favours a certain approach, and I agree. I shall use diplomacy with Lord Snow. I would be foolish to pick a fight without negotiating first. I'll offer our allegiance, and try to reach a reasonable agreement.
Yeah, because I think it's definitely one you kind of need to be able to focus on it. It's not too bad.
Ethan has made his opinion known, and you will respect his decision.
I think it also doesn't help that I'm getting tired.
Forgive us, my
I'm
lord.
not really
We
focusing.
are, of course, here to serve you, as we served your father.
Aye.
Well then, let's decide how we shall set the stage for Ramsay's arrival. Invite him into this hall, and meet him face to face, lord to lord.
Ramsay Snow is no lord. That's absurd. You meet him at the gate with as much force as we can muster. Make him wait. Let him gaze upon Ironrath. And when he enters, he'll know it's only because you allowed it.
Lord Ethan?
I will meet him in the Great Hall.
A wise move, my lord.
It's careless. Can't you see Tuttle is steering you wrong?
That's enough, Royland. Lord Ethan has given his command.
How many years have I served this house? I cannot listen to that bloody idiot anymore. Forgive me, my lord, but you are not ready to be lord of this house. You're likely to get us all killed.
Sit down at once.
Apologies, my son. But now that it is settled, we know what we must do. You will meet Ramsay Snow in the Great Hall, and we will not offer our ironwood.
And don't worry, Lord Ethan. I will stand beside you, where your sentinel belongs.
Then perhaps we should adjourn. We have to prepare the house.
If there was ever a time
My
I'm
lord,
so
I have fought for
looking
this
forward
family
to see a
many
save.
years. Do not forget that.
There will always be those who question your leadership, which is why you need allies you can rely on. Family. Mira has done everything she can in King's Landing, but there are others who can help us. What about your brother, Asher?
Malcolm told me. You want to bring him back.
He's a skilled fighter. But what's more, he has the will to fight. A hunger for it. He always protected you and your sister. And we need all the help we can get.
Yes, I hear what you're saying.
Do you remember the miller's boy? How he tormented you? I wanted to intervene, but your father said Ethan must fight his own battles. But when Asher saw it, he didn't take a breath. He grabbed the miller's
Yes,
boy
you
by
too,
the neck.
Nelson.
That was
Good
his
night to you as
first
well too.
insult.
I'll not be that long following.
Asher knocked out half the poor
Thank you
boys.
for coming over, even though it's a quick wee chat.
Of course,
I
your
do
father
appreciate
was
it.
furious, but
Because it's
you
nice
were in
having people
danger
to talk
and there
to.
was nothing else Asher needed to know. Asher does not hesitate. He acts, and we need that. You have many fine qualities, but you do not have that anger inside you.
Asher is dangerous and unpredictable. His presence could help or hurt.
Having another sword at your side always helps, especially now. I'm trying to do what's best for this family, what this family needs. Ethan, let me send Malcolm to Essos.
Fine. Malcolm will go to Essos and bring Asher back.
And I'm always glad when you come on. Because
Thank
sometimes
you,
I feel
Ethan.
really awkward
I'm
whenever
glad you
I'm
will
here
let
by
me do
myself and I
this.
don't really know what to say and speak.
Know that you
So it
never
is nice to
stand
have
alone.
somebody that asks
You
me
are
a
a
question or
forester.
says stuff
Mira
that I
stands
can
with us,
bounce
she
off
may
and stuff
be
like
able
that.
to help us yet.
Hey Travis. I'm sorry Travis, but once it saves, I am logging off. I am literally falling asleep. Okay, the game has saved. That is it. Travis, I am sorry, but I'm shattered. It has been a long day. I do hopefully plan to be on here tomorrow. As I said, I will be going to see family first, so it might not be until maybe about 11, half 11 by the time I'm home. But hopefully I will get some strong coffee and stuff like that, and I should be able to play for a lot longer tomorrow. I really do kind of want to be in work early tomorrow. We're meeting a friend up at lunchtime, so I really do need to take about like an hour's lunch, just so we can have a bit of time. So I really do want to be in early. So unfortunately, this is it. I'm stopping gameplay for the night. Oh my god, people is all coming on who I haven't seen in ages. Yeah, Hobbit. You're just gonna get called Hobbit. As I said to Travis, I am logging off now, Hobbit. I am sorry. I will hopefully be on here tomorrow. I hopefully definitely will be here on Saturday. I'm planning to just take a relaxing day and chill, and I plan to stream. So unfortunately, I have to log off because I have work in the morning. And I think if I stay up late tonight, I am not going to be able to get up tomorrow morning. It's been one of those weeks. So, I do apologise, people, if you're only coming on now. That is it. I'm logging off. But please come around tomorrow. And, as I said, yeah. I will either probably playing this game. Might not be, because this seems to be a game you really have to focus on. And at this point in time, I can't focus on anything. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. I do appreciate you coming over.